Greetings, everyone! It is I, the mighty Haysoos. I am back with One Piece, chapter 1115, Pieces of a Continent. The lovely chapter cover page today is Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 5. We see Hiyori and Otoko. Hiyori and Otoko are packing me a bento lunch. And we just see a huge grin on Yamato's face, as obviously, as in the description, Hiyori and Otoko are making Yamato that's a pretty big bento lunch for Yamato's pilgrimage. All right. So, in this chapter, we start off in the flower capital, where obviously Yamato has just left on a pilgrimage. So, flower capital. Wano. Obviously, everyone is reacting to the news that is being said around the world by Vegapunks. I don't know what's sending the entirety of the message, but something sure is. I can't believe this gets signal from aboard. So Orochi had it in the castle. So it's Orochi's Dendenmushi. And so, Vegapunk's message is still being being played throughout the world. But as for why he was called a pirate, we're still learning about Joy Boy here. So, we see Momonosuke and Kimon. So, Joy Boy was a pirate. He sounds just like Luffy. You've heard of him, my lord? Well, the thing is, Momonosuke would, because he probably read Odin's journal. The brig, Naval Base G4. Oh no. Former fake Luffy, who is now posing as Kid. Oh god. Him and his lackeys are posing as kids. And they're in jail. Demalo Black, a guy who posed as Luffy in Saboti Archipelago. Oh my gosh, he's now Captain Kid. I hate this guy. I hate this guy with a burning passion. Joy Boy, I don't believe he's stronger than our captain, right, Captain Kid? It's the guy who used to be Sanji, you know, he dyed his hair. So he looks like Killer, like with stripes and stuff. And obviously this guy is a con artist. Leave that guy alone. He's already dead. That's the captain we love and admire. Kid's the most generous guy around. There's no way that I'm weaker than Joy Ball. Boy. What an idiot. I hate him. So, the Marines are also reacting to this news as they are, pelting the island with cannon fire. I have only read from a handful of poneglyphs, but what I found there was the record of a breathtakingly vast war. Joy Boy's enemy was the world government of the present day. And you just have this Marine pointing at himself, and he's like, wait, that's us. And the other Marine's like, if he was a pirate, that checks out. And we get a cut to, we get a cut of the Gorosei's reaction to this news. And they're pissed. And St. Marcus is just going through the entirety of the factory, just destroying every Dendenmushi he sees, while Luffy and the two giants are running away from the top. I think it's Sir Top Hat guy, Sir Topman. Well, he's the boar zone, mythical zone elder. And they're just running from the flames that he's creating. As the message is continuing, more accurately, it was the precursor to the world government. a provisional army put together by 20 kingdoms known as the Alliance. We see like a little bit of imagining flashback here. You might say they had no other choice. So robust was Joy Boy's faction. Without knowing the spark that caused the war, I won't say who was right or wrong. I'll simply state that two competing ideologies came head to head. That's usually how it is. There is no right and wrong. As I mentioned earlier, for its time, 900 years ago, the country of Joy Boy's birth, blank, blank, blank. we cut to Zoo, New World, as the minks have returned. We see Carrot as well. So Joy Boy's birth was a startlingly advanced civilization, and the weapons that were used over the course of 100-year conflict appeared to be impossible to recreate without the latest of modern science. Yeah, Vegapunk would know that. Carrot just like, that's amazing! Oh, no way. We actually get to see none other than himself, Foxy, and his crew. Damn, what happened to his ship? Ho 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 ho! Fe. What nonsense is this? He's talking peanuts. Eek, boss, I'm starving. He talks about peanuts. Even I, a humble genius, cannot replicate them. What's he bragging about? The monkey guy. That takes me back. So, and therein lies the problem. Labo phase. Oh, we get to see Stussy again. Stussy. Huh? It's me, Edison. Oh, Kaku's still there too. He's just deadpan is like, oh, what's going on? What's going to happen? Basically, like, I don't know what's going through Kaku's head. I mean, he's an interesting character, I must say. Poor Stussy, left alone. Lower the barrier and run for safety. What? I can't. If anything happens to the Straw Hats before they can leave. And Edison's just there. Honestly, there ain't much point to the barrier anymore. If it can't stop these guys from getting past, as it shows St. Saturn, he's just going through the entire factory as well, destroying Den Mushies. It seems these are the last words for poor old Edison. Poor guy. I've done all I can to help the Straw Hats make their escape. They can take it from here. We cut to Jinbei, thankfully, and he's still holding Zoro. Are you on your way, Jinbei? Sorry, almost there. And Zoro's just like, don't apologize, Jinbei. We were... Was that you I heard saying something, Zoro? I'm gonna smack you after this. Oh, it's Nami. Hurry. More ships are gathering around the northeast coast. We don't want to land on the water only to get bombarded to bits. As we see, like, the same thing is happening to the giant ship as the Navy vessels are kind of changing their fire. That's a relief, Stella. Oh, we see, we get to Stussy again and talking to Atlas. I mean, not Atlas, Edison. I don't know why I said Atlas. Atlas is fine, I hope. That's a relief. Stella would be upset with me if I didn't help them get away. Nah, he wouldn't. Now get out of there. But I don't know what to do. Huh? Without Stella around anymore, who do I live for? And Kaku is just listening to this, and honestly, that would be cool. Oh, like, he has like he has like 2 ellipses and 2 exclamation marks. We actually don't know Kaku's backstory. Like, we know Lucci's, but we don't know Kaku's. So I wonder if we'll get like a little bit of information about that. Without Stella around, who do I live for? I hope Stussy and Kaku team up. That would be cool. So we cut back to the battle with Ethan Baron, who sent Sanji to the fucking ground, and he's just eating dirt. Poor Sanji, but I think he can take that. And he's just like, don't let him use that katana. The old geezer can cut through anything. Bio response detected. Bonnie. Look out, Bonnie. Oh, Frankie clotheslines her to dodge, and the slice just, oh my goodness. She turns back to her normal size, or age, I would say, like, you know, her age size, which was 12 years old. And we just see the slice. This is a pretty cool panel. So the slice missed Frankie and Bonnie, but it sliced the giant's war, like the mount of, I forget what it's called, but it's the top of the front of your boat. It's almost like a symbol kind of thing. Well, it's like this ram head, and it's been sliced off, as well as the flag part of one of the top of the masts of one of them. Oh yeah, so Bonnie can't hold future form for long, and she's out of commission for now. As Vegapunk's message is continuing. The Void Century came to a close with the defeat of Joy Boy, as we see two giants. Well, not two giants. We see the Mecha Giant, or like, you know, the mecha thing. We don't know what it is, other than it just being a giant robot that has like a giant look to it, you know, like with the Viking helmet and everything, as well as Zuo. Obviously, they're probably remains of the Void Century. How long must you jabber on, Vegapunk? Where is he going? Oh, Ethan Barron's upset. Obvious bio response. So that was him that said bio response detected. Which is like detecting the entire thing. Obvious bio response. He's charging for an attack. But not before leaving vast permanent scars of war across the face of the world. And so this Gorosei, Ethan Baron, sliced the entirety of the Labo phase in half. Just like what Law did at Punk Hazard. Obviously, with Law's Devil Fruit, he was able to slice it without any issues, but this is an actual slice, physical slice. And because it opens up, we see the captive CP agents, as well as the Seraphim, who are all stuck in bubbles as they're falling through the floor because of the big slice. As they're falling through the sky, the message just continues. The world is made up of a series of islands. Sailing between them is difficult, and many people never experienced anything but their own culture at home. Yeah, duh. So everyone's just like, yeah, of course, no shit, Sherlock. Everyone knows the sea is dangerous. But this shared understanding of the world does not necessarily apply to the world of a thousand years ago. Because a cataclysm occurred during the Void Century. Oh, we see Zoro's dojo, where he originally came from. And his master, who gave him the Watto. As we see this cool panel of, in this panel here, it looks like the ruins of a city underneath, like Atlantis almost. Causing the world to sink once before. We are currently living on the piece of a continent that existed long ago. So technically, if that's true, then all the islands that people are living on are like the tippy top of high. Then what the hell is the red line then? Was that? Do you think the red line's man-made then? Where Mary Joie lives, where the celestial dragons live on Mary Joie. And all this news shocks none other than the Revolutionary Army, who I remember people thinking, oh yeah, Dragon's gonna save Straw Hats, but nope, he's still with the Revolutionary Army on Ivankov's island. So they're taking it pretty hard as we see Sabo thinking Sabo got that face because he knows, because he saw Im-sama. He saw Im-sama and he knows that it was probably them. The world of a millennium ago now slumbers unseen at the bottom of the sea, undersea. Yep. We see Nami's village. Oh my gosh, I think that's Kokoyashi village. In fact, one can assume that in the past there were a number of continents we know nothing about. This is all so wild. Where are you going, Nojiko? The world's in danger. Nojiko is Nami's sister. And we see the pinwheel guy. You can tell me about it later. I'm gonna go check on the tangerine groves. Nojiko! Vegapunk. If the world were still the same as it was in the past, then the act of erasing 100 years of history would be simply unthinkable and impossible. However, it makes much more sense when you understand the rise in sea level over that century was 200 meters. Oh, 200 meters. That's a lot. Jesus. What? 200 meters? The Marines are taking this in strides, I must say. These gigantic battleships are only 60 meters long. Yeah, if you look at that, they are, yeah, it would just be 60 meters long. And if you think that's 60 meters long, then 200 meters would be like 4 more of those battleships. No wonder the whole world vanished. Hey, don't get distracted by the story. Cypherpole and the Sephiring came falling down to ground level. We gotta rescue them. Yeah. If they didn't die on the fall. And obviously you see these guys at Mocktown. Did you hear that? This man's still lying. The old scoot's cracking me up. No way any of that's true. Unfortunately, it is true. Cherry Blossom Kingdom's Chopper's homeland. Ah, we see Dr. Kureha. How does such a thing happen? There's still so much to learn about the world. And we also see, I forget her name, but she had the weird power of like hypnosis with paint. She was Mr. 3's sidekick during the Alabasta arc on. You see her during Little Garden. She's just eating a cookie. A rice cookie, I believe it was. That mountain over there is just about 200 meters tall. Imagine the sea rising that high. It sounds like hell. How many people must have died? Yeah, just thinking about that. That's how you erase history. By just making the water rise. As for why the sea level rose so much during that century, it would be natural to assume the work of a sudden natural disaster. Oh. We see Galila is holding this up at Water 7. But I can state for a fact that this was a man-made disaster. That's just crazy! It's big news, Morgan. And Vivi shuts him up with her hand and she's like, shh! This is important. If such a cataclysm were caused by natural forces, then the initial disaster would have spanned several centuries and inflicted slow but continual damage upon the world. But any measurement, climatology, geology, environmental, and atmosphere science, this dramatic shift could not have happened within a single century. So, the cause is something else. And when I detected the rise in the worldwide sea levels the other day, I had my answer. I knew the cause and confirmed its existence. The ancient weapons that sank the world into the sea 800 years ago. Oh, Vegapunk knows. He knew. And the Gorosei here in this panel are upset. They are fuming with rage. If the whole world knows if the whole world knows about the Void Century, what are you gonna do? Erase all of existence? As we cut to Mary Joie while the message is ringing out, we see a flower bed, and none other than a shadowy figure with piercing eyes. Still exists today and await the moment that they stir once again. In other words, the vast war that arose during the Void Century never came to an end. And the war continues to this day. And this is the end of chapter 11:15. As we hear a rumbling coming from Imu-sama themselves. The shadowy, spindly figure with piercing eyes. Yeah, they probably wouldn't be so happy about it. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to use none other than the ancient weapon on Egghead Island, seeing it as a lost cause. No more can be spewed out. No more of this news be spewed out. Man, that's one hell of a chapter explaining the exact answer Robin and all the archaeologists were looking for, that the Void Century existed. Well, there was a century that existed, but was erased by the rising water. 200 meters, erasing civilization as they know it. Probably turning back the time to the Stone Ages. I mean, you think about it, you erase all of that technology in an instant, just by covering it in water. And probably silencing those that knew. Yeah, that's a crazy chapter and a half. The answers we were all looking for. Oh man, we're really in the end game of this story, man. How will this continue? Well, we won't know until next chapter, which is next week's chapter, which will be 11:16. Well, this is Haysoos signing off. Who knew water could be so dangerous? Alright, see you in the next chapter. Goodbye.